I can finally go live. Do you believe this? Huh? It just allowed me to go live for the first time. I'm sitting here waiting all day and my phone has not worked. Man, this sucks. Okay. Oh, man. What?
You sent me a number?
I sent it to you?
Yeah, 01152.
Shh. Oh, that was... Don't worry about that. That was a mistake. I know it's really super late, guys. We just got into our hotel room, and this is the first time I have been able to live stream because my phone is not allowing me to do anything but make phone calls while I'm here. It is just the situation we are in. So hold on, let me put my glasses on so I can read some of your comments. Ugh. I'm tired. Canada Free Press. Article on Tom Fitton, Obama White House is implicated in Hillary Clinton email scanner. Oh, Tori. Oh my God. Okay. Listen to what I uncovered today, guys. This is my day. I'm just going to tell it today what happened, and I'm going to tell... I just came from interviewing a guy that was about to cross the border. And he gave me an interview. Couldn't live stream it because, like, my phone is not working here. I apologize to all of you. I wanted to live stream from Mexico, but I videotaped it. I recorded my interviews. So... Some of you who've been watching Oscar El Blue Ramirez probably know that I went and questioned Nicole Ramos, the lawyer from Al Otro Lado. And there were other people there that questioned her, locals from San Diego. And one of them was, of course, Melinda Oporto, as you know. Here's what happened. Among the things that this lawyer said, she indicated she does not practice law in Mexico. She only gives training, know your rights training. So I just talked to a person in a shelter that showed me a contract and told me she was giving him legal advice here in Mexico. Not only that, he told me that the lawyer, well, not she particularly, but that her group, let me rephrase, her group, Al Otro Lado, and he brings me the contract, and he shows it to me, and he tells me they guaranteed him asylum. The lawyers he spoke to said, you will have asylum. They did a consult with him, and then they told him, oh, you qualify for asylum. How would they know, and how can they guarantee he will get it? They did guarantee it to him. I said, excuse me, what did you say? Did you say they guaranteed it? He goes, yeah. I said, okay, how exactly did they say that? And he goes, well, they only asked me one question. This is a question. Do you have American citizen family members? And I said, yeah, my mom is an American citizen. And as soon as I said that, they're like, you get asylum. You get asylum. And he was like, how do they know? How can they guarantee that? But they told me it was a done deal. I'm getting asylum. And it made me really leery because I thought, you know, how can they be guaranteeing that? Well, for one thing, they can't. No lawyer can guarantee the outcome of any case. For another thing, it's unethical to tell someone, to promise someone an outcome on a case. It's unethical. If you watched Oscar's live streams, because apparently he can live stream, but I can't, you heard that. And the crazy thing is, me and Duke And I could tell Oscar too. We were all tired. We'd interviewed like four unaccompanied minors. How many of those girls were unaccompanied minor? I forget their ages right now. I'm really tired. I apologize. I can't think right now. But after that, I interviewed the pastor for a little bit. I interviewed the manager of the shelter. And then I wanted to interview people that had gotten legal advice from Al Otro Lado. And I interviewed two men. What they told me about what these lawyers were doing was very revealing. We know for a fact that Nicole Ramos, on the same day that I went to see her at the conference, lied about the fact that Al Otro Lado lawyers and volunteers are practicing law without a license in Mexico. They definitely are. And I've got the goods. I got the receipts. In addition to that, she's doing something very unethical by guaranteeing people, their lawyers, their volunteers, giving any kind of a guarantee that they can get asylum for people. Then we went to, where did we go after that, Duke? After we left the shelter. We went directly to the coffee shop and talked with Oscar for a bit. And he wanted us to go to the border wall where you saw the people crossing, right where the sand is, right by the beaches. And he showed me where the migrants that are waiting to cross, or like that are homeless or whatever, that deported back to Mexico, are living. Like they're like in this, like, what would you call that? Like a ravine? It's just, yeah, he called it the jungle. And it's like, there's the swamp. I'm like, there's people down there? He's like, yeah. So we're walking, and if you saw that little short live feed, you could see there was people there waiting to cross, right? So there's this dude, he's obviously sitting there. I said, that guy that was sitting there, he looks like he's waiting to cross. And we walked back after Oscar cut the feed, and he recognizes the guy, and he's like, hey, dude. And we go over and he talked to him. He's like, hey, are you going to cross right now? He's like, yeah, I'm just waiting for the fog to lift. I'm waiting for the fog to come up. And I said, can I interview you? He says, yes. So I started interviewing him. I said, so what's your name? What's going on? He says he's going to cross. He's Mexican. He's not Central American. And he tells me that he's waiting for the fog because when the fog is lifting, when the fog is coming out, the cameras can't see you. And then he says, then when you jump the fence, he runs in a zigzag pattern. He doesn't run straight because then they can see where you flatten the grass and they can follow your tracks and find you. And he says he's crossed in the United States many times and that he's lived here in the United States. And he was coming here for his daughter's quinceañera. He's not going to stay. He just wants to come for a birthday party and then he's going to go home. But the interesting thing was what he told me about recently being in detention facilities. He's been here recently and was just deported. He said, they're not getting asylum anymore. Now, I don't know what he means by the word asylum because lay people don't understand what the process is. I hear people all the time that I'm interviewing say they went to the border and got asylum because they got a paper, because they got a credible fear interview, or because they were given a court date. Because I heard somebody say today, did you get the first asylum or the second asylum? And I'm like, there's only one. You can only get it one time. And so I don't know what he means exactly by that, but he said they're not giving them that anymore. What I think he means is that the thing where they would let them into the country and then tell them, here's your hearing date, and then let them go and hope that they come back for their hearing date. He says that's not happening as much anymore. I'm going to be checking with my sources in the U.S. to see if that's true or not. But he said that he talked to one of the immigration people, and he asked him, what's going on with the Central Americans? And he said, we just let them think that they're going to stay here, but then we deport them after a few days. He says, they're just not letting them stay anymore. So they're not getting asylum. They're not getting it anymore. Which is, it's a incorrect terminology, but that's what he wanted to say. Amazing day. It was an amazing day full of information, from the lies that were told by Nicole Ramos about practicing law in Mexico to the fact that, she had no numbers on how many of the people actually will get asylum. She nor the organizations she works with seem to take any responsibility after they provide non-legal services to these folks. So ultimately, I caught her in several lies on the same day that I saw her, and she denied me the opportunity to interview her further. Although she did give me her card and told me I can email her some questions. I got some really interesting questions based on what these folks here today have shown to me and proven is happening here in Mexico. And I am going to try to get a hold of this guy that I saw out there tonight, and I interviewed him because he says he's going tonight and he'll be in the United States tomorrow, and he'll be able to send me pictures from the U.S. So that's what's going on, folks. That's what's happening here. And I'm going to chillax and watch some boob tube and then go to sleep so I can get up and do this again tomorrow. Thank you guys for all of you, especially those of you who supported to get us here, because this part, coming to Tijuana, has been incredibly productive. The amount of information I was able to collect in one day, the evidence, interviews, just in one day. Well, not even one day, one afternoon. Imagine what I could do with like a week's time. Like, can you imagine? I definitely have to come back. I have to figure out a way to come back because a day and a half just isn't enough. I've realized that with the amount, Jesus Christ. You see how many shelters there were, Duke? Like, how many did we count? Just the ones that he took us to, like 7 of them. The lights all along the border wall right there. The city has turned them off. Now, people can just cross willy-nilly during the nighttime without any lights on. Just making it simpler for them to cross. So they are. So there isn't enough time. I went to one shelter. I interviewed about 7 or 8 people, and I got so much information from those folks. That was one shelter. Can you imagine if I went to the other ones, what I would uncover? The hotels where they're holding these people before they cross. The stories that I got about what the coyotes are doing. Like, you're not going to believe this stuff. I'm bringing all of this stuff back. I've got the audio. I'll be translating some of it. It's going to be good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Let me just look at your questions real quick, and then I'm going to hit the sack here, kids. Okay, let me see. Duke might cry. Why would Duke cry? Honestly, Oscar really... Thanks, Tori. I have Oscar. I just want you guys to know, Oscar has been... Wow, what a solid. He has... he's a workhorse, for one. He took us everywhere. We showed up, got in his car, and he started... Here's the shelter. Immediately, he went to work. I'm like, damn, this guy is, serious about this. So, it's been nonstop. We stopped and had... I had a milkshake and a piece of pie. And we had some food earlier. And now I'm going to have some Sabritas chips for for dinner? 'Cause I'm just going to sit here and pick out. I'm probably going to eat this whole thing and just watch TV and fall asleep. Okay, guys. I see lots of comments. Not really a lot of questions. My hair is all disheveled from running around. Okay. The government reports 38 shelters. Jesus God. And that's not even counting all of the unreported shelters, because there's a whole bunch of them that are or hotels where these coyotes are keeping people till they cross them. So there's a lot of reporting to be done. I can tell why Oscar was literally dragging me from place to place and trying to get as much in, because nobody's reporting about what's going on here. It's truly remarkable, incredible that it's happening out in the open. It's just, and somebody needs to report on it. So we will be doing lots more reports. We're going to figure out a way that I can send Oscar to different places. I want to interview people and have him take my face over there so I can do some remote interviews. We're going to figure something out, because there's a lot of stuff that I need to dig up here in Tijuana, and I'm going to keep bringing it to you one way or another. Okay, that's it. That's all. Duke, say good night. Honey, say good night.
Oh, hey.
Are you tired?
Trying to listen to some audio we took earlier, trying to see the quality.
Oh, yeah, Duke's still working. Duke is charging everything back up so that it's ready for tomorrow, so that all of our recording devices for our audio and everything is charged up, and he's already listening to the sound quality of the recordings that we took today.
Good.
Are you listening to the one that we just took with the guy?
No, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm taking you away from your work, and you still keep working.
Just going to check some stuff. I just want to know what we have. So, 'cause you never know when you're doing this work.
Yeah.
You prepare, and I need different kinds of equipment. We need different kinds of phones to be in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's just like mine ran out of space, but Cindy and Oscar as a team, very incredible. You two, you and Oscar, it's like a bang, 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 bang. People talk. They start telling all this stuff. Documents come out. You photograph it. You keep people engaged. People trust you. They tell their stories. They tell the truth. That's incredible. And I'm just in the background trying to gather enough stuff so we have more documentation. But those two working together, that's a team that needs to continue working. We're going to.
You're my team, though. You're my tech guy. I couldn't do this without you.
That's true. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that you guys on the ground together was pretty incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So watch Oscar's live streams. He streamed most of the stuff today. So if you go to Oscar El Blue or Oscar
El Blue Ramirez, or Oscar Blue Ramirez.
Yes.
Oscar Blue Ramirez. He was streaming
and
all
look
of
at
the
the streams that he did today, because he caught a lot of the stuff we did, So it's very, very, very good.
It was very, very, very good. You heard it here from Duke Gomez-Schempp. He's going back to work. I can tell I'm annoying him a little bit because he's really intensely working. He doesn't stop. He never stops.
That's what it is. We got.
It's okay, honey. I love that you don't stop working. I love that you work so hard. I honestly couldn't do this without him, but I'm going to bed now. Love you guys. Good night. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.